taking my headphones off. Fuck that. Bethesda, there is nothing I love more than to sit down, comfy chair, turn on the PC, fire up a brand new RPG, lose myself, think, oh my God, just think of this world, just think of all the planets I can visit, all the immersive things that I can get involved with, all the fights, all the relationships, all the people I meet, all the places I go. I'm so excited to go there. And you know, I love nothing more than to be dragged down at every fucking conceivable opportunity. No. So you can fucking current day us. No. Sorry, did you want to get immersed in our world? Yeah, well, no. Fucking pronouns. That's all you fucking are. No. Fucking gender ambiguity. Fucking pronouns. No. Fucking current day California shit. Fucking pronouns. No. Because that's all we fucking know. Because we're boring. We're so fucking boring. Fucking pronouns. We can't see past our own fucking reflection. That's the level of our narcissism here. Bethesda Western Game Company. Fuck your immersion. Fuck you having a good time. Fuck you falling into a world and just getting lost. No. Current fucking day. No. Fuck off. You're boring. No. You're fucking dull. You have nothing to say. Pronouns. No. Pronouns. No. Pronouns. No. That's all you fucking are. Pronouns. And you wonder why people are getting so fucking sick and tired. You are a one hive mind twat waffle. You take everything we love, all our immersions, all our fantasies, all our escapism, and you just can't help shovel your dog shit, fucking crap ideology into everything, every single solitary fucking thing. Fucking pronoun. No. Fucking gender ambiguity. Fucking pronoun. No. Fucking current day California shit. Fucking pronoun. No. Because that's all we fucking know. Because we're boring. We're so fucking boring. You're boring. You're fucking dull. You have nothing to say. Because we're boring. No. We're so fucking boring. No, you fucking are. Fucking pronouns.
What's going on, everyone? It's Nina Infinity. Welcome to my channel on this Wednesday. This is Breaking the Narrative, and tonight I'm going to be flying solo, and I have so much to talk to you about, so very much to talk to you about, and I wanted to give a special shout out to Sir Sinatra. Hello, and thank you for joining the show. That opening that you just watched, the first one, is by Sinatra right here, and it was messaged to me right before the show, and I was like, ha! That is hilarious. Obviously, we're going to have to play that as the opening. And he's all about that. So make sure you check out his channel if you're into the CG and this sphere of madness that we call a community or fellowship around here, whatever you want to call it. Sinatra makes crazy remixes about all of us. So definitely make sure you check his channel out. He's great, and he always does a fantastic job. Got a member message here saying Zero Smoke member 8 months. Thank you. Says Az has ascended into legendary status. I expect Hassan to say something stupid, but I'm disappointed in Ackman doing the same thing. Hello, and thank you for being here. We have so much to discuss. That and more will be discussed as well. Hello, everybody. Brick Hardcastle, what's going on? The Call Me Hunter. I saw you in the chat. Look, I feel you, man. I feel you. I understand wanting to play a game that you enjoy. I totally do. There's so much to discuss. That's why I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you here being here to check out what I have to say about this whole thing, because I do like to take a nuanced approach to things as much as I can. I don't think the world is black and white the way most people do. And I understand where Az is coming from, because Az was so angry when that happened. I was just more annoyed than angry, I guess. But everybody has a threshold, right? And everybody has a breaking point. And at some point, we're all going to just be like, "Oh my God, I've had enough." Whatever that may be, everybody has that threshold, and I think sometimes that's reached a little bit prematurely. Sometimes it's reached just at the right time, and I think that as is hit the note for a lot of people, and that's why it went viral the way that it did. I think most people are kind of sick of this kind of stuff. We're all sick of basically just garbage entertainment, to say the least. Now I'm not saying that just about Starfield. Okay. I'm saying that about so many things. And that's what, as was kind of hitting on, is that it's not just this one thing. There's so much more. I'm sure that everybody in the chat has probably a type of IP that they love, that has been, sex swapped, race swapped, whatever swapped, excuse me, to make it palpable to the modern audience. And usually the modern audience are media killers. So I think it's just very, very interesting that things are coming to such a heated moment right now in time, because there's so much out there. There's so much out there that everyone's getting berated with nonstop, whether it's political or whether it's in your entertainment. It's always there, and especially when it's in your entertainment, because at the very least, back in the day, we could kind of take a break from politics. I mean, politics has always been important because that's part of our life, and policies are being made that are part of our daily life that affects us all. But at some point, we could take a break. We could take a break and be like, hey, I don't want to listen to this anymore. I'm going to go and get lost in Star Wars. I'm going to go get lost in Star Trek. I'm going to go get lost in Doctor Who. I'm going to go get lost in Marvel. I'm going to go get lost in whatever that may be for you. I'm going to go get lost in a video game. And now it's become like that. It just feels like that even that is being taken away from us. And I can understand from both sides why people are a little bit angry about it. I mean, I'm just frustrated about it. I was like, ugh, like what the hell, man? Like again, year two, because I wasn't really prepared. I was very prepared for the amount of woke stuff coming about Baldur's Gate. I knew fully, like, going in, how woke it was going to be. Most people were talking about the bear fucking, which was weird. But the big difference for me personally with Baldur's Gate and Starfield, I was going to call it Stargate. That's not what it's called. With Starfield, was that at least Baldur's Gate had certain things to offer me as a person that liked that style of gaming more. Than Starfield. It was just a personal difference. It ran better. I didn't have any glitches. I didn't have frame rate issues. I didn't have any of the other stuff, because for me, Starfield was just like it wasn't a good game. I didn't have a good experience. And you can, because I streamed my first playthrough of it. So you can go and watch the first playthrough and see for yourself that I came in there with good faith. And it was just kind of like all very surprised to see what it was like. And I was still like, okay, let's move forward. Let's move forward. And then I have all these like system issues, frame rate issues, whatever issues. The characters were butt ugly. Like I was like, what is going on with this game? Like, why are the characters so ugly? And I wasn't enjoying it. And the pronoun thing was just kind of like the straw, I guess. It was just one of those things where I was like, and then even at the end of the game, I was like, yeah, I'll probably come back and play this more. And then I, shut the game down, went to bed. I came back, or I woke up the next day and I was like, I really didn't enjoy that game. Like, it was just not for me. I didn't like the glitches. I didn't like the way it was. I didn't like the, like, what's the word? fast travel to everywhere. It was just a really weird type of experience. And I was like, it's just not for me right now. And it's a bit that Bethesda game. So we all know how glitchy those games can be. And I figured, hey, maybe in a few years I can play it and maybe it'll be fine then. But until then, like they still have a lot of work and glitches to fix with regards to that. Baldur's Gate, not so much. Other people have brought up Hogwarts Legacy being woke, and Hogwarts Legacy had woke elements as well. Not that it didn't. All of these modern games, again, all of these modern games have a lot of woke elements. Nobody is denying that. Nobody is denying it. And I think the part of it that is just so funny to me is that people are thinking that we're excusing those things when we're not. And it just seems like this one just went viral for whatever reason, like whatever reason the algorithm wanted to go viral, it did. But for the other ones, not so much. And I mean, hey, like that's sometimes that's how the cookie crumbles. That's how the algorithm rolls, and you just got to roll with it. So it's not like we didn't call it out. We make fun of it all the time. Brad's monkeys in the chat. He knows we make fun of all the woke stuff when because I play the Baldur's Gate games right now. You can see it on my channel. And we make fun of that with Tomby all the time. Like we talk about like, and I was like, first things first, when we going into this game, nobody's bare effing on my game. Like nobody's doing that. And if you do, I'm going to judge you and I'm going to make fun of you. Like, you know, we roll with it. We make these we make excuses, whatever you want to call it, for something that we enjoy. And at some point, everybody, like I said, has a threshold. And for me, not that I have to justify why I play Baldur's Gate over this, I had a good time playing it. Freaking sue me. Like, oh my gosh. The game worked better on my system and I was enjoying it. Like, oh my God. Same with Hogwarts Legacy. I mean, I made fun of that game for the what's the bartender, and I made fun of the game for what they were like calling people like students versus like using their pronouns or whatever. It was dumb. We made fun of it and we moved on. This one was just so different because it was so like right in your face, and it's supposed to be sci-fi, right? Like when you want to break from reality and go into a sci-fi experience, you're like, okay, I'm going to go into the space, to this time where we're beyond pronouns now. We're beyond all of these different things that bog us down on Earth, on this 21st century Earth. The 2023 is going away. I'm going to be in this world. I'm going to be in this futuristic world where all of that is gone. And in this case, it wasn't. So it just kind of was like very glaring. And the other thing was too, that I was like, I was even making fun of it on Flashcast on Midnight's Edge. That I was like, you know, if they had alien creatures as a thing that you can make as a character, like you had some sort of alien creature that you made, and then the pronoun was they, them, I'd be like, whatever, okay, because it doesn't have a sex, it doesn't have a gender. So yeah, I guess that's a they, them as far as we know. Like we don't know what to call them, but the game was about a human being, whether you're female or male. And I think that that's a very relevant conversation. And why is it such a big deal? Because everybody kind of freaked out. Like, oh my God, this isn't a big deal. You guys are making it a big deal. We're the ones making it a big deal, according to them. And I think that that's the issue. The main issue is, why is it a big deal? And that is what we're here to talk and discuss today all together. People who are into discourse, whether you agree or disagree, I hope you remain respectful in the chat, and we can have this discussion together because I have my point of views. I'm sure you have yours, but I'm sure we can try and get to at least a middle ground together and see where we're both coming from. Russell Hall for $2 says, justice for bear forkers. No. 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 Just no. Just no, Russell. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I'm judging you. I judge you. So yeah, we have a lot to discuss tonight. So I figured we'd discuss this very weird and annoying topic. And then once we talk about this, if we have time, depending on how long we go, maybe we'll switch over to Rumble, and then we will EFAP, the Tucker Carlson interview that he did recently with the dude that did butt stuff with Obama. So I don't know what's going on. I haven't watched that interview. People have told me about it. So I feel like I want to check that out. So maybe we'll EFAP that interview after we discuss things here on YouTube about the Starfield stuff. We'll go over to Rumble and talk more about whatever the hell that interview is about. I don't know what's going on over there. So that is the plan for tonight. So get your popcorns ready and make sure you smash the like. If you haven't done so already, maybe share the stream, all that good stuff. And hello to all the new people, by the way, because I did get a whole bunch of new subscribers. I wanted to say hello to you. So thank you for subscribing because of all the drama. And I wanted to give another shout out to another channel who made a really great video actually about Starfield. I thought this was really cool because they actually brought me up on the channel about one of the tweets that I tweeted out, and I thought his nuanced take was really refreshing. And it's this channel here, Upper Echelon, and the video is called Starfield Absolutely Shameful Discourse. And the guy kind of goes into like the gameplay and all that stuff. We're not going to watch this right now. I'm just showing you what the video is. So if you're interested in knowing more about the gameplay and more a nuanced perspective about what's going on with the discourse surrounding this game, which I think is pretty relevant, you should check out his channel, and also this video in particular I think was a pretty good one. So I just wanted to give that also a thing and say thank you to Upper Echelon for mentioning me and what I was going through with regards to Twitter, because whether you agree or disagree, it's just kind of uncool to harass people nonstop and call them names and threaten them and all sorts of bad things, which is what I've been going through on Twitter. And yeah, it hasn't been very pleasant, but it's fine. It is what it is. That's social media for you. I'm not crying about it. As you can see, I'm laughing because it also now means money. It does, which is fine. That's at the very least, now we can get paid for all the crazy shit that is thrown our way, which is completely fine. And that's why people like Nick Ricada are like, I need to tweet more because apparently we can get paid now. So there you go. Oh my gosh. I was going to watch it. Butt stuff to do. Wow. You have fun. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. All right. You know what? This is a really good question. Thoughts on Starfield, a game, non-political. Okay, it's actually a good question. So let me give you a brief, my brief thoughts on the game as a whole, what I got to play. Okay, because I only got to play like 3.5 hours, and there was things I liked and there was things I didn't like. So I definitely liked one of the things I really liked, because I'm one of those people that plays third person only in video games, because I just have issues with the first person. I get like nauseous and I just don't like it. So I tend to lean more towards third person games. One of the other reasons I like Baldur's Gate so much. And I like that style of play more. So I really like the fact that they actually incorporated third person play in this video game. Maybe it doesn't mean a lot to a lot of people, but that was one of the main draws for me, was that I could play this in third person. I really liked some of the dialogue with the robot. I thought it was pretty funny. There was other things about it that was kind of cool, but it was a little bit frustrating to get into the menu system, and it was kind of really weird and frustrating to get into the flight mechanics. Was at first a little bit frustrating, but there's a learning curve though, so because I can tell that at some point it'll become so fun. But the other part of it that I didn't like was the amount of fast travel there was, because I just kind of like to really get lost in space when I play space games. So, for example, I really like No Man's Sky. But No Man's Sky could use more RPG elements. So, but I like the mechanics of No Man's Sky, like the way you fly and the way you like all of the other stuff. So I think that there's goods and bads. So altogether, I think it has a lot of work to be done though with regards to the systems and it not being glitchy, the frame rate issues, all that kind of stuff. So it's just really it's a personal thing. But I think like if you like that type of game, you'll enjoy it a lot. I know a lot of people who have played it and they're enjoying it immensely. So it really is. If you have a good system for it, if everything works your way, I think you might have fun with it. And I always say, like, dude, enjoy what you enjoy. Everybody should enjoy what they enjoy, whether it has pronouns or not. Sometimes, you just gotta love what you like. Life is too short. Life is too damn short to have people stop you from enjoying something. Um, Bird Up for $2 says Melanie is right. Starfield is a rainbow. Thank you. I appreciate you. I actually wanted to talk about Melanie Mac as well because she did something that I was really thankful about, which we're going to get into next. By the way, we are also live on Rumble. So if you guys want to check that out, the link is in the description as well as the pinned tweet. So you guys can go check that out. And at some point, we're going to probably go over there to EFAP the Tucker video. What's up, Rumble? I see you guys. Love the Rumble chat. People saying very open to discourse. That's great. That's awesome. So good stuff going over there. No Man's Sky. Yeah, No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky. It's a good game. I like No Man's Sky. It's a very relaxing game. No Man's Sky could just like really get lost. Just mining stuff. It's a really cool game. Okay, let's start with what happened. Okay, so as I kind of glossed over some things. So let's go over through it a little bit more detail. So I went through I started playing Starfield and I went into it thinking really like this is a good game. I'm gonna try this out. And I went into it with open eyes, good faith, in good faith. I really wanted to enjoy it, and if I had enjoyed it, I would have played the rest of it. And then I got to the character creator, and this is where things went a little awry because after like I did all the stuff, which I thought, by the way, the character designs, I was just like, oh my God, I don't have like 5 hours to spend on this. So I'll make the best one I can. But my God, those character designs like were just so ugly, like just so ugly. It's so not up my alley. I was like, these characters just don't look very feminine. There was no long hair. None of that stuff. It was just, I don't know. It's just not my jam. Like I was like, this is not a good character creator. And then I got to the part where you enter your name, and where you enter your name, it says she, her next to my name. And I was like, she, her? Like, what the hell? And then I pressed enter to press my name, and I saw on the bottom it said pronouns. And I was like, wait, what? Like you want a pronoun? Like, this is so bizarre. So I put my name and I was like, why is this even here? Like, it just didn't make sense. And so I clicked it and I clicked it again because you can go as he, him, and then you can go as they, them. And I was like, okay, that's so annoying. Like, I just got annoyed. I was like, this is so annoying. And I was like, this is just so ridiculous. Like, why would it even be there? What's the big deal? What's the big deal? I don't know what the big deal. Well, actually, I do know what the big deal is. I'm getting there. What's the big deal? I was just like, why is it even there? Like, it just doesn't need, it's so unnecessary. And so I'm like, I tried to, and my chat and I started, there was a she, her, though there was. The first one was she, her. It was automatically selected for me because my character was kind of feminine. So I had picked because you go with body type A or body type B, and it's either masculine or feminine. You can you have dials that you can, fix. So you can give your masculine character like lady hips if you wanted to. You can give him an hourglass and then call him a he, him. even though he has a female body. So clearly they did it so that you can make like very androgynous looking characters and then call them they them basically. But the long story short of it is that the idea that people going around and putting like on Twitter, they're going around and putting like the are you a boy or are you a girl picture from Pokemon is so ridiculous to me, because Pokemon never had a they them option. It's like, yeah, okay, like yeah, pronouns, sure, they exist in the English language, sure. But we never had a they them. There wasn't an option in Pokemon to go boy, girl, or they them. Like if you had that, people would have made fun of you way back then. Like there was nothing about they them pronouns in Pokemon. So that's where the line is drawn. It's just boy and it's girl, and that's it. And if it was just boy and girl here, I don't think people would have a problem with it. I don't think you would have gotten this crazy ass rant if there was no they them. I don't think we would have gotten this.
Taking my headphones off, fuck that. Bethesda, there is nothing I love more than to sit down, comfy chair, turn on my PC, fire up a brand new RPG, lose myself, think, oh my God, just think of this world, just think of all the planets I can visit, all the immersive things that I can get involved with, all the fights, all the relationships, all the people I meet, all the places I go. I'm so excited to go there. And you know, I love nothing more than to be dragged down every fucking conceivable opportunity. No, no, no. So you can fucking current us. No, no, no. Sorry, did you want to get immersed in our world? Yeah, well, no, no, no. Fucking pronouns.
Fucking pronouns. I don't think people would have freaked out. I just don't think people would have freaked out the way they did if the game just didn't have it. Like, because it's unnecessary. There's no reason to have it. If you've designed a male character, you've designed a male character. If you designed a female character, you've designed a female character. There is no in between for most of us. There is no in between. And the in-betweeners are mad that we don't want that shit in our game. So I think that's the funny part of it, is that they're mad at us because we're like, hey, why are you putting this in our game? And they're like, well, because it's important. Because respect my pronouns, okay? Because if you don't, then we're gonna have a problem. And I think again, these are the reasons that people are like, wait, what? Like, hold the freaking phone. Because if this wasn't important, then why are people getting canceled all over the place for misusing pronouns, for not accepting other people's preferred pronouns? This is about preferred pronouns, not about just regular pronouns that are part of the English language. This is about stuff that has come out in modern day that we're constantly fighting. This is when a few years ago, if you remember, a lady named Gina Carano on Twitter was canceled for writing beep bop boop as her pronouns because the pronoun police got mad at her because they wanted her to show the pronoun people love and put like she, her in her profile in her Twitter profile. And she was like, I don't want to do that. So I'm going to put beep bop boop. And people went being insane. They lost their ever loving mind. And they were like, you bitch. Like, you can't do that. How dare you? How freaking dare you make fun of this very serious issue?
How dare you?
So people lost their ever-loving mind. And ever since then, people have been losing their ever-loving mind about pronouns. And then now that we've come to this point in time, all of a sudden it's like, what's the big fucking deal? What's the big deal, guys? It's just a couple pronouns. It's just a couple pronouns that you've always had for centuries and centuries since the beginning of time. No, that's not the case. That's not the case. And that's why people feel gaslit. That's why I felt gaslit, because I think the other reason too is that there's so many problems with that kind of mentality, because I feel like I was having this discussion with Lofty. And shout out to Lofty, by the way. You know, that guy gets a lot of hate, but man, Lofty's cool, okay? Everybody, Lofty's cool. Like, yeah, sometimes he has bad takes, but we all have bad takes sometimes. I'm sure a lot of people think I have bad takes right now. So it's fine. It's fine. He's cool. He's a cool dude. But Lofty, sometimes I highly disagree with him a lot of times. And one of the things I disagree with him vehemently on this topic is the fact that, he says it's not a big deal and that he didn't even notice it. Um, and I think one of the reasons he says that he didn't even notice it, like the pronouns being there, was because it's the literal point of it is because it's been trickled to us for so long. And now people are starting to become numb to it. And this is why we call it a psyop, because a psyop becomes ingrained in society. It threads itself into everything that you know and love, and it just threads itself and becomes part of you. And then when somebody questions that, you're like, wait, why are you questioning it? There's no big deal. Like, this has been there for a long time. And it's that mentality. The reason that you don't think it's a big deal, Lofty, and people who are like Lofty and don't think it's a big deal, most of the time it's because you are a victim of a psyop, of what's happening. This is exactly what we're talking about. The reason you don't notice it's because it's so slowly creeping into every aspect of your life. So, and that's where I stand. I think this whole thing is ridiculous. Again, I'm going to say this one more time for the kids in the back, the ones that aren't paying attention. 100% go play the game. I will never tell you to boycott it. I will never tell you not to buy it or what to do with your money. I decided it wasn't for me. I just didn't care. For $200, I didn't want to play that game. It wasn't my game. It wasn't made for me. But if it is made for you, and if it's going to make you happy to do this, to go and play this video game and get away from it all, go and do it. It's your money. It's your right. You do what you want to do. But don't come and tell me that this stuff is no big deal. Okay. Because people are getting canceled. People are getting their kids away. In Vancouver, Canada, some dude got his kids taken away, his daughter taken away because he misgendered her. It's a whole freaking story. You can go look it up. It's a dad in BC. There's a lot writing on this stuff. So you can't say it's not a big deal. It is a big deal. There's a large discourse and discussion happening surrounding this topic and nothing to do with Starfield. Look at Jordan Peterson. He got canceled for the things that he was saying about controlled speech, about about Canada deeming misgendering people as a hate crime, as a hate speech, so that you can be jailed, you can take in your life could get ruined for misgendering someone in Canada. This stuff is a big deal. So that kind of stuff is a big deal. And I think it's just funny that all the pronoun police are like, what's a big deal? What's the big deal, guys? Well, I mean, if it's not a big deal, then you shouldn't feel offended if I don't refer to your preferred pronouns then, right? Because if I didn't call somebody by whatever their preferred pronouns was, let's say, Ian, so forth, I'm sure goes by he, him. If I was to, refer to him as a her all the time, he might get annoyed, right? Like he'd be like, what the frig, dude? Like, why are you calling me a her? It's just that kind of thing. Like you're gonna get annoyed, right? Like you're gonna get annoyed at some point. Is it a big deal or isn't it? Like, are you gonna get mad at people if they misgender you or if they mispronoun you? If you want to get them canceled, if you want to get them fired for that, maybe it is a big deal to you then. So that's those are some very, very real issues that's going on. A lot of gaslighting going on On Fridays, that's fine, he says. Okay. So he's a woman on Fridays. Okay. That's cool. Real quick, Ian so forth. Thank you so much for the 50. Says, hi, it Ian, he, him. Cry all you want. But we had pronouns around since the 80s. That's how we knew Kermit and Miss Piggy were flirting. That's how we like, dude. That's how we knew a lot of things in the 80s. Appreciate you, Ian. He, him. Thank you. Thank you for that. And then over on Rumble, Brad Monkey, Rumble ranting $5 to give me a cheers. Well, cheers to you, bud. Thank you. And Mark of Reality, thank you for the $5 over on Rumble, saying they didn't tell you about the pronoun requirement when you bought the game. People should get their money back. Could you guys create a woke warning rating system? Wow, that's an interesting point of view. That's an interesting point of view. I've never thought about a woke rating system. Yeah, I was surprised. I was very surprised. I was like, wait, what? Like it just took me aback. And again, you can go watch my reaction it's on the channel. I haven't removed it or anything. Matt Amos, wow, thank you for the $50. Says, I'm with you and Az. It took me out of my immersion. Same to a lesser degree in Baldur's Gate and Hogwarts. Stop using escapism as a platform and expecting me to pay for it. Also, looking at Bethesda, stop releasing buggy crap. Yeah, and that was, for me, that was the major reason for the refund, was the bugs and the frame rate issues. I was just not having a good time with it, and also the ugly characters. I'm not gonna lie, the ugly characters just, it's like I can't even look at my own character. Like I feel like I don't like it. So no. So it was just, I mean, and like, ever since then, by the way, I feel very validated in this whole ugly character situation because so many people have posted pictures. I was like, maybe it was just me. Maybe I just like maybe I didn't notice it. And people are like posting pictures of the characters with like the giant eyes, like bulging out of their heads, going like this, like this is the, like this in the game, like it's just like it makes no freaking sense, like just it's so bad. And then I saw Razor Fist tweet this out, and I was like, dude, that is wild. And it was like this tweet right here. Let me get this one, because this was a pretty good kind of like, it's really glaring, so it's like, this is supposed to be Starfield 2023, and this is supposed to be Silent Hill 2003. I mean, look at this guy. What is this character? Then you got this. Like, there's so much texture going on, so much like grit, so much character in this guy's face. And then you got this. This is modern day gaming. Kind of reminds me of like modern day comic books as well, like modern day DC and Marvel, and like the stuff that they're coming out with. Like there's no shading, it's just very basic stuff. Like it kind of reminds me of that, and I think that that's really, really funny. And then you compare it to the old stuff, and the older stuff has so much soul, so much like grit, there's just so much more to it than modern games. And that's for a lot of stuff too. It's not just this game, but I think this game is just kind of, it's just kind of there. Mind you, Baldur's Gate has way prettier characters than this. Like, my God, what the fuck did these people do? But I guess that's just Bethesda. Bethesda's like, they're famous for making really ugly characters. I don't know. But I thought this was funny. This was a funny representation of what is going on. Also, thank you, Bird Up, for the $5. The Starfield is the Canadian shop teacher of Bethesda. That's funny. That's funny. Dex Luther, thank you for the 5. Says, oh wait, is that Anna's boobs? I think that's Anna's boobs. You can put the pen in. Wait, what? You can put the pen. penis on a female character on Baldur's Gate 3, and I think also pick your own pronouns, but it's actually a good game, so people are more forgiving. And yeah, exactly, because I mean, first of all, I didn't do any of that. Like my character's just a female, very normal. I didn't even notice the pronoun thing in that game, to be completely honest with you, until somebody brought it up. But I knew that, going into it, I knew it was going to be super woke, so I'd already been like, I'm going into this game knowing it's super woke. I'm going to this game knowing that it's going to have, bear effing and, other types of stuff. And then, of course, Russell Hall sends me to like my first, like, what I'm trying to discover things. He's like, yeah, you might want to check out that shack. And I like walk into the shack and there's like a troll effing a what was it, an orc or something, and it was just really freaking, I was like, oh my god, this game there's going to be a lot of that. But yeah, I mean, it's just they're completely different games though, so it was just not really in your face with Baldur's Gate 3 as much as it was with with this game. And I think we are more forgiving. I'm very forgiving when it comes to this kind of stuff, Dex. Like I said, if it was fine, I would have probably played with it. Like I would have probably kept on going. Um like instead of refunding it or whatever, because I didn't have glitches, and the dialogue I thought in Baldur's Gate was way better than it was in Starfield, and just a lot of different things that went into my decision making. It wasn't purely for the pronouns, but I think a lot of people would like to paint that image. People like Ian Miles Chung, who actually retweeted me, but did it in a really weird way, and we're gonna get to that right after this. So this is let's see. Mark of reality says for two guys, look at your paid quote unquote rants. I'm not sure what you mean by this, Mark. I don't know what you mean. Okay. So first, let's start here. So first, this is the original tweet that went crazy viral that I was like, oh my God. So it says, I said, I almost refunded my game when Starfield asked me for pronouns. You can watch that reaction on my channel. It's still there. I still might. I'm annoyed about it. This was after I had ended the game. Okay. This is like an afterthought. And then this is the next morning. Okay. This is the next morning when I woke up, and I had like basically, slept on it, literally had slept on it. I said I had major issues with frame rates and also issues where I would talk to an NPC and their mouths didn't move. This was probably the most annoying thing to me, by the way. Very immersion breaking when you're playing an RPG game and you walk up to a character and they start talking and their mouth is like this. And you're like, the fuck, man? Like, trying to get into this. Help me get into your game. And it says I had major issues with frame rate and also issues where I could talk to NPC and their mouth didn't move, but I could hear the audio. It happened multiple times. I may have let the pronouns thing go if the game was close to perfect. It's not. It's terribly glitchy. I had less issues with Cyberpunk at launch. Again, this was also true because most people really came down hard on Cyberpunk at launch, but for me, it ran fine. Like I was playing it on PC. I had a really great gaming rig and same rig, actually. It was the same computer. I played it and was fine, especially for the main storyline. Like Cyberpunk had issues where it was very like side characters or like basically like the AI of the NPCs weren't as great at the beginning at the launch, but everybody talked like properly. Their face animation always worked. All of that kind of stuff worked perfectly, especially the stuff with Keanu Reeves. The main storyline was perfect. I had no issues with it. So I kept playing because Cyberpunk was fun. I should go back to the Cyberpunk, by the way, because I think like a lot of people have said a lot of stuff has been fixed in it. And I think I really want to check that out again. But we're gonna getting off topic here. Getting off topic. Okay. So that was the original tweet. Now this thing went viral, went crazy, and all the crazy people came into it, and the pronoun police started coming after me, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna mute that thread. But then this happened. So one of the people that decided to put me on blast was Ian Miles Chung. And this is the narrative. This is the narrative that some people want to paint. And this is why I think this is really interesting, because this is also part of the discourse that we're having right now, is whether it's a big deal and who's actually making the big deal out of things. Because for me, it came from I had a nuanced approach. I wasn't like where I was like just raging angry about this and was like, I'm rage quit. I'm gonna fucking rave on this fucking game or the fuck pronouns. Like, it wasn't like that. So it was just really funny that this picture was painted of it. And this is how, and this is what I'm talking about here, because he has since then deleted this tweet, and I'll tell you why in a minute. And this is the original. This is the tweet that he tweeted. He tweeted it saying, right here, this is your brain when you're addicted to outrage. Okay, so that's a narrative being painted here. Okay, because he wants to paint me as an outraged kind of person. I'm so outraged. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna rerun the game with pronouns. This is the kind of thing that Ian wants to paint. Okay, he wants to paint me as a person that's practicing an outrage culture. I'm making a big deal out of nothing. This is the outrage, right? So when you're addicted to outrage, and then he screenshots my tweet. He doesn't quote tweet me, even though he easily could have. And the reason he doesn't quote tweet me is, I think, two-pronged. Okay, one, because he knows I'm friends with the Quartering Jeremy and they're enemies. So that's one. And two, he doesn't want to give me the clicks, because he knows now that Twitter is run on, and people get paid for impressions. So of course he doesn't want to have my account get the impressions and people go to the tweet. But thirdly, it's because he's painting a narrative of me as an angry gamer who just wants to rage about nothing. Okay, I'm just a rager about nothing. He didn't put the rest of the reason of why I refunded it. Okay, because none of that mattered anymore. None of that mattered. And he even admitted to that as much to Melanie Mack. And that is why we're going to talk about her next. Thank you so much for this $5. Just a random, you didn't say anything. Appreciate you. Thank you for the support. Okay, let's go to Melanie Mack's tweet, because Melanie, she's my girl. Sorry, I have to drink some water. Okay. Sorry, I really needed that after that rage, after that pure rage. I needed it. CJ, thanks for the 10, says, you and Az got gaslit. They tried to make it seem like it was just about pronouns in the game. It's about how all of this stuff is being normalized to a point where people get arrested for misgendering. Exactly, CJ. There's a bigger conversation going on here. And also, Az is still playing the game. He never refunded it. Az is still playing it. I didn't. I was like, I'm out on this. But anyways, so back to the tweet, back to the story, everyone, back to the story. So then I went in there and I was like, yo, what the F, Ian? What's up, Ian? What's up? I said, Ian Miles Chung is as bad as the Washington Compost, creates narratives for clicks. He didn't even screenshot my whole tweet. And I screenshotted my whole tweet and I sent it in to that thing, which has been deleted since. Okay. So that was that. And the reason it was deleted is this reason right here. I'm going to read you this right now. So the reason that was deleted was because Melanie Mack replied to him and said, why would you crop Nina Infinity's tweet to take out the context? And Ian replied, she's been lying about Starfield being woke and buggy the whole time. That's all the context you need. Like, isn't that so funny? Isn't that what we've been fighting on Twitter? Like, people like Ian claim that they fight this kind of censorship all the time on Twitter, like how Twitter should be a free speech platform and people shouldn't be misrepresented, and how he goes on to white knight for Elon Musk every time there's a very, very ridiculous article put out by the New York Post or the Washington Compost or any of these other outlets that represent what Elon Musk has done, or headline an issue so that they can get more clicks and all that kind of stuff. And here he is telling everybody that I'm quote unquote lying, right? Because like that Starfield being woke and buggy. I don't even think he's played the game, by the way. I don't think he has any idea what's going on. But I had played the game and I did go through bugs. So I wasn't lying about that. And that's all the context. He's telling you what you need out of the context. And so Melanie is like, I think cropping someone's tweet is unfair, whether you agree with them or like them or not. It's disingenuous. I would say the same if someone did that to you as well. And so he deleted it and said, "You're right. My apologies." And she said, "Thank you for doing the right thing," which I really do appreciate. Melanie standing up here and calling things out. And to some extent, I appreciate that Ian deleted that tweet. But at the same time, he didn't delete any of this, and he didn't delete this part about him lying about me. And that's fine. I mean, it's still there. People can see it, but they can also go and see my reaction to the game, and they can understand that I wasn't lying about what I was saying. And I did go in there with good faith. But this is the kind of the narratives that are being painted here. And that was just a small one of me. Now, so many other narratives are being created about Az, because Az is a bigger content creator, Az is a bigger gamer. And Az has a lot more skin in the game, especially as a straight white male. Okay. Because, at least I have the female card. Like, I can just be like, hey, stop harassing me and sending me rape threats. And some people will be like, oh, okay, maybe we should chill out. But with him, not so much, right? Like, there's a lot more on the line for Az. I think there's a lot more narrative to paint when it comes to Az, as like, I'm just saying there's a lot more things people can say. And some of the things people are saying is absolutely ridiculous. And one of the things I wanted to bring up that was this article right here. And we're going to go through this because I thought this was absolutely ridiculous. And this is another narrative that's being painted. So here we go. Starfield isn't woke. You're just afraid of the future. Okay. Very interesting headline. Being able to choose your pronouns isn't a sign of Bethesda's bowing to the leftist cabal. Okay. Interesting idea. And I like the thumbnail. I think this is funny. Okay. This is a funny picture. Starfield has pronouns, hundreds of years in the future, a universe that reflects the progress made within our own, allows players to select the pronouns people in their lives choose to address them. Oh boy. Oh boy. We already have a problem. Oh boy. Usually, I mean, this is the bigger picture stuff we're talking about, right? Choosing to address people as a certain thing, not what you were born with, not the she and her, not the he, him. Okay, this is about pronouns that are being forced on you to make you have to call people a certain thing. And if you don't, you're wrong thinking. Okay. So let's continue, because there's more. This choice isn't respected. It's an obvious component of making your character in an RPG's opening moments. Shock! Bigots aren't best pleased. Shock! Article calls us bigots for having an opinion. Like, fucking shocker. Okay. Here's another person calling people like me a bigot. I mean, this is definitely about but it's calling me a bigot too, because I was one of those people who was not happy about it. I wasn't happy about it. Okay. Shortly after early access began this weekend, a clip went viral featuring a bald British man screaming about how Starfield is desperate to remind us of current day with its use of pronouns and body diversity. That bald British man is my friend heel versus babyface. You get his name right. I mean, you could even do him the courtesy of getting his freaking YouTube channel. Okay, you just call him a bald British man. How disrespectful of you. How disrespectful, sir.
Taking my headphones off, fuck that. Bethesda, there is nothing I love more than to sit down, comfy chair, turn on my PC, fire up a...
Fuck your pronouns! Okay, all right. That was me being as. Okay, that was me pretending to be as. Okay. Bald British man is such a problem. With his use of pronouns and body diversity often, putting his progressive agenda above its ultimate goal of providing a sprawling universe of different planets and characters to discover. Bethesda is so eager to shove politics down our throat that it forgot to make a good game. And this part I feel like you can argue. Okay, this part I feel like you can argue a little bit, because there's definitely good things about the gameplay. Okay, like this is definitely this is where the nuance comes in, people. Okay, because it's not just about the pronouns, because if you want to actually have nuance, there are definitely things that people are enjoying, and that's why at the very beginning of this I told you to check out Upper Echelon Games review of the game, because he's played it and he has a very, very nuanced take about the gameplay aspect of it and some of the very good things about it. Okay, because this is where nuance comes in, and you cannot just throw out with a baby with the bathwater, and neither will I. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it was a completely shitty game. They had done some really good stuff, and some of it was really cool. Okay. And that some of it was not. Okay. So that's where we stand here. So moving on. But the reality is far less interesting and merely represents a society that is becoming more welcoming for LGBTQ plus people who don't abide by cisgender norms. Wow. What a sentence. What a sentence here. I mean, it's not a big deal, guys. Okay? Like, it's not a big deal or anything, like, at all. But I mean, that just kind of speaks for itself, doesn't it? It's not like really political or anything. It's just really welcoming to that kind of ideology. So, also, isn't cis a slur? Like, I thought that cisgender was a slur now. I thought cis was a slur now. Like, are we not going to acknowledge that at all? Okay. All right. Okay, so LGBT by cisgender norms. Starfield wants to depict a universe where that progress continues even as our own planet has been left behind. So Earth is left behind. Nobody cares about Earth anymore, because apparently, I mean, I didn't get this far into the story, so I don't even know if that's the case. But okay, so Earth has been left behind. And but we've taken our pronouns with us. The language police has really infiltrated, and the people have been completely programmed to refer to people's chosen pronouns, because that's what we took from progress. Okay. This isn't some otherworldly, my God, a nightmare scenario for me personally. But hey, okay, like this is I guess this is the future they imagine. Okay, I mean it's their right. They can imagine any future they want. This is the one they came up with. Okay, hey, whatever. Okay, it's like some sort of commie really calmy universe that sounds really honestly awful. It sounds awful. It doesn't sound like it was made for me. Uh, Going on. When playing when playing a blockbuster game like this ahead of release, I find myself laughing about the inclusion of non-binary non-binary identity option or trans character creators because I know the same tired crowds are going to kick up a fuss about something very normal to the rest of us. So like just what? You like this is what? What do you mean? Because I mean, what? Okay. Anyways, how a game will be labeled as trying to win over the leftist cabal by allowing us to look like a normal person with pronouns of our choice. Look, okay, let me explain something to you. There's absolutely nothing normal about the character design of Starfield. Okay, you don't look normal at all in that game. You look like shit. Okay, the humans in that game are very ugly. Like they're extremely ugly. Like if you maybe spend like 6 hours trying to design a character that somewhat looks feminine, maybe you'll get there. But until then, no, okay? Like none of the people look normal. They look like shit. And they look all androgynous. And it's a very weird character creator, okay? That's my take on it. With pronouns of our choice. Alan Wake 2 has a woman of color in one of its lead roles, so I'm expecting the name to be changed to Alan Woke 2 in a bunch of very clever and not at all predictable right-wing YouTube videos. Okay, just because so according to this person, just because something's gonna have a black character, we're gonna call it woke because it has a black character. This is again gaslighting. This is so stupid. This makes no fucking sense because why would anyone freak out about a black character? There's so many black characters that I personally love. And a shout out to the best Star Trek captain, Benjamin Sisko. Okay, like this is so stupid. Okay, if Alan Wake 2 is gonna have a black woman as one of the main characters, so freaking what? Is Alan Wake turned into a black woman? That might have a problem. So, like if Alan Wake decided to become Alana, I don't know, Alana Waco or something. I don't know, whatever. Alana something, but Alana Woke. If Alan Wake transitioned into Alana Woke, then and became and also like super transitioned, and by that I mean like the guy who like went and became Korean and like he did like all the different like things to actually become Korean because he identified as Korean and he was this white dude. I think his name is Ollie London. Um, but, like, if this dude does that, like, if he becomes a black woman, then yeah, I think people are gonna have a problem. Like, people are gonna be like, "Wait, what the fuck happened to Alan Wake?" But if there's just gonna be a black woman in there, nobody's gonna give a fuck, okay? Nobody cares. This is so stupid. Okay. Then this person has put the Hassan Abi clip of him, talking about this weird British guy losing his mind over selecting pronouns and Starfield and blah blah blah. Then going again, this is all the narrative being painted, right? Starfield doesn't even push progressive vote out on all that much. From what I can tell, most of its companions abide the sexuality of the player when it comes to romance, while going with the non-binary gender option will also lock you out of specific protagonist voice that can't be changed no matter how you might look or sound in reality. It represents a rather generic way in which gender non-conforming people are viewed in our own society. Non-binary folks exist and should be respected, but from the perspective of a cisgender people, they're also a demographic that can be pushed into a box like anyone else. That was a lot. Like, wow. It's not a big deal, guys. Just not a big deal. That was a lot. Okay. It represents the gender non-conforming people view. Okay, so again, for a very small portion of the audience, they want to basically shove this stuff down everybody's throat, which is fine if you're into that. I'm personally not, but hey, if you're into it, whatever. But this is the slow trickle that I'm telling you guys about. It also neglects to provide any other voice options, forcing your character to fit into the sole idea of what a non-binary person sounds like, or non-binary people sound like. Okay, so like there's a criticism here from this person saying that the non-binary voice is not quite up to par for Bethesda's Starfield. So it's not woke enough. They need to work on getting non-binary voices. I'm not really sure what that means. I guess they mean like non-binary people to play the part of non-binary characters within the game. I mean, how many non-binary characters are you going to have in this game? I'm not really sure. As an NPC, are we talking? Because like the main characters don't usually really talk. So are you talking about NPCs? How many? Then like if you're running to that many non-binary characters, then it just doesn't like it doesn't make sense where this person's like, oh, this is not about the LGBTQ thing. Or is it? Like I don't really understand. Okay. Anyways. So that's a critique though, that they want non-binary voice actors. This is where the critique should be addressed, but I don't think the angry gamer boys kicking up a fuss about pronouns have the intellect to make it that far. Wow, I guess I don't either, because I think you're just talking a bunch of bullshit. Instead, their only outlet is anger for the sake of anger because hobbies they love and define themselves by aren't afraid to change with the times and leave them behind. Look, if anyone's identified with anything like hobby or whatever, it's you, the writer of this article, because we have lives. Like, I know as personally, like pretty well. I haven't met him in real life, but I know him pretty well. I've worked with him for quite a long time, and I know that Az has a life. So this doesn't define him. Like playing a video game doesn't define who he is. It does for a lot of people, though. A lot of people take something and it becomes their entire identity. Like it just becomes like kind of like the pronoun thing. Like the pronoun thing becomes their entire identity. We're not really like that. I mean, I'm not like that. I know Az is not like that. It just means, like, to me, it's just such a weird thing to say, because I think it's just projection of at this point, because that's not what we do. We have lives. So we don't become something just because we like it. We just like it. It's called a hobby. Um, okay, so and then with the times and leave them behind. Of course, the times are going to leave us behind. That's right, because we're the ones that are wrong. I mean, there's no evidence here that, if you get woke, you go broke. There's no evidence of, I don't know, just last week that other studio going broke because of the whole what was that other game called? I'm sure the chat's gonna know. Um, the woke game that just literally like went out of business because they went woke. It just happened 2 seconds ago. I totally forgot the game. The shooty one. Thanks, bro. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The chat knows all. Thank you. Yes, Saints Row. It's not like there's no evidence about these kind of things being a problem for these big companies. It's not like there's no evidence of Disney actually fucking going broke right now, man. Like losing over $900 million. Like, these things add up. Okay. These companies are hurting. Okay. Some of them are really starting to learn that there is a problem. Okay. That they're maybe going woke is going broke. Okay. So this is just such an interesting point of view, because I think that some of these other companies are going to be the ones that are left behind, like the people that made Saints Row. They're the ones being left behind because nobody wants your fucking game anymore. Okay. A lot of people are making this argument that GTA 6 is going to be woke. And you know what? I'm going to have to hold my reservations on that game because I'm very excited to play it. And I don't think just having a female character means that it's going to be woke. It could be. It could be. And I will make fun of it if it is. But I'm holding my opinion until that moment because I think that having a female protagonist could be really, really fun if they do it right. Anyways, that's besides the point. Here is the profile creator thing again, like I said before, this is exactly what it's like. You put your name here and then she, her comes up if your character somewhat looks feminine. And of course this person's picked like a fucking pink haired person, which is pretty funny. And then you click on this and it takes you to he, him, and then you click on it again and it takes you they, them. So you can choose whatever pronouns. And then right here, you have the pronoun option that you can kind of change between. So you click on the Y button and it changes the pronoun for you. It was B on the keyboard for me. But anyways, you have to wonder if reactions like this are genuine or actually a manufactured display of outrage to achieve viral success and to attract followers who happily reside within the same narrow echo chamber. So that's an interesting point of view, actually, which is kind of right in some ways. I think that one of the things that should be noted, especially about Az's rant, is that Az was ranting that in the middle of a live stream where he had streamed this game for several hours. And so he was talking to a dedicated audience of his, of I think about 1,000 people in the chat at the time, maybe more, maybe 1.2K, maybe a little bit more. But anyways, he has a very dedicated audience, and his dedicated audience go there to watch him react to stuff like this and do these kind of things, do these rage things that he would do. Like sometimes he does the most random stuff and then he rages about it because it's funny and people have subscribed to him for that characteristic. So part of being a YouTuber is being a little bit, out there. Like let me talk to you a little bit more close up so you can understand the way I'm talking to you right now. Because when you talk to a person in real life, people are going to understand you the way you are in real life because there's so many different things. It's called human connection. You're going to understand, tone of voice. You're going to understand the body language. Like body language is pretty important. You're going to understand certain things. But in YouTube, there's a different aspect of that, is that we are there by ourselves with the camera. Like I'm looking at myself here and then I have to chat and the chat's talking to me and I'm seeing some of you guys say stuff and the texts are really small. So it's just like you're reading as it's going, and the faster the chat goes, the less you're likely to read what it's saying because it's constant, right? So and it depends on how good of a reader you are. And how well I read, you guys. I mean, especially if you've been watching me for a while, you know that I have freaking dyslexia sometimes when I'm reading, especially when it gets late. But anyways, so my point is that Az was talking to a very dedicated audience of his and went on this rant and was just like, the way I am talking to you right now. Okay. I'm talking to you because I'm a little bit more embellished because I'm trying to get a point of view across. Like when you talk to me in person, I'm not like this all the time. I don't do so many hand motions, but you do that on YouTube because you want to create an image. Okay. I do that a lot because that's how I want to be able to make that connection with you, because that's how I'm looking at the camera straight. Usually my camera is at this angle because it's sitting over here. But right now I'm looking at you straight because it's serious and I want to talk to you. I'm looking at you. I'm trying to get through to you. It's a different perspective. So usually you're going to embellish yourself a little bit more. So YouTubers do that all the time. And Az is very good at it. Okay. Az is very good at doing that. And that's why he has a lot of subscribers, because people like his crazy rant sometimes. So in some senses, this person is not wrong. Like, yes, we do embellish. Yes, we do sometimes go a little bit overboard because we're trying to sell ourselves, trying to get ourselves across. And if we were just sitting there going, yeah, I guess it's kind of woke, guys. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. How interesting would that be? People aren't going to watch that, right? So that's also really kind of interesting to me. Ever since a Gamergate. Oh, that's the next sentence here. Ever since Gamergate, because of course this person's gonna bring up Gamergate. God, of course you got to bring up Gamergate. We have seen these crowds gather in defiance where the medium is headed, either screaming about Horizon Zero Dawn's daring to depict realistic beauty standards in Aloy's peach fuzz. Wait, what? What does that even mean? Peach fuzz? What? I heard like they made Aloy really ugly. Is that what this person's talking about? I'm gonna click on this article. What's the deal with the peach fuzz? What? So this is the article that they have. Gamers complain about Aloy having clearly never seen a real woman before. What? It's a gorgeous game. I've yet to play it myself, but editor-in-chief Stacey Hanley's review the footage emerging online teases experience such as blah 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 characters featuring environment realistic and something. It's pretty and lifelike the way it's meant to be smaller, more than subtle details. Okay. This means that truly horrifying things like women are striving for realism instead of sexy magazine cover models of fantasy and medium has often resigned itself to. Okay. Wow. So basically, like uglifying women and making them like just ugly and look like men or androgynous is like, realistic women. Okay. According to these people. So that means like, we're oh god. I don't even know what to say. This is so stupid because Aloy was so much prettier in the first game and then they made her so ugly in the second game. So I don't even know what to say to this. It's such a stupid argument. But this person wanted to bring up Gamergate as much as they want clicks too, right? I mean, I just clicked on that article. So, anyways, Horizon Zero Dawn daring to depict realistic beauty standards. That's not realistic beauty standards. That's ugly. Or harassing the smaller indie projects with queer themes and ideas that happen to make the mainstream. Is it any wonder that this is not a clickable article? Because I'm just going to put it out there. I'll take things that didn't happen for 500, Alex. Okay. Because I don't think I've ever heard of people harassing small indie projects with queer themes. I'm not really sure what they're talking about. They haven't even written an article about it to link to it. So I call bullshit. Okay, because what the hell game are they talking about? Does anyone know in the chat? Because maybe the chat knows all. I know the chat knows all. So if you guys have any idea what they're talking about when they're talking about this harassing of smaller indie creative projects for queer themes, please let me know. I'd be really interested. I'm not seeing anything you guys are saying about queer themes game being messed up. But I can tell you Gamergate was a bad one. Okay. All right. So no. All right. So it doesn't stop. And unfortunately, I doubt it ever will. Why? Starfield thinks it'll stop because Starfield thinks that in the future, your progressive mindset is going to leave us all behind. And you guys are going to go into the future and this progressive, commie future of yours where everybody gets to choose whatever pronouns they are, whether they wake up one day and they feel like a turtle and they say to them, turtle love. Ah. And, one day they'll identify as a turtle and so on and so forth. We're just going to go into the future in this progressive whatever, and we're going to leave everybody else behind. I mean, I thought that that's what you think. I thought that's what Starfield was about. I mean, I thought that's the world that you want. So why do you think that it'll never happen? Because I mean, it kind of is happening. So Starfield is a better game for allowing non-binary players to feel represented, even if it sometimes falls short. So yay for Starfield, because non-binary people are represented. But even then, it's not good enough because we need non-binary voice actors, okay? Because it's not good enough, guys. It's not going to do better. You do better, okay? More non-binary voice actors. Bethesda isn't listening to its own potential. Bethesda isn't lessening its own potential with a game that wants to be more welcoming and progressive, especially when the majority of the big open world blockbusters in recent years have done the exact same. That doesn't mean that they're going to be successful. Okay. That doesn't mean it's going to be successful. What's interesting to me too is that it's saying Bethesda isn't lessening its own potential with a game that wants to be more welcoming and progressive, especially when a majority. Like it wants to be welcoming to non-binary people, which are a very, very, very small percentage of the population. But in doing that, it might be turning off a larger portion of their population, which are people like white men who want to play games. Maybe they're more likely to spend money on video games, on different things. Okay. I don't know very many non-binary people who are super successful in buying video games all the time. I just don't know. Maybe you guys know them. I personally don't. I don't even know one. I can tell you right now, I don't know a non-binary person. So in my life, in my personal life, I don't know one. But if you guys know one, I mean, I don't know how many people do you guys know? I mean that's a personal question. I don't know, but I don't know any. So the only ones I know of are on Twitter. Those are the ones that are like screaming at me all the time. But I don't. TZ Burton makes a good point. Come to Seattle. Okay, so there's a lot of them in Seattle. That makes sense. Starfield, blah blah blah. It's a better game. Okay, so they want. So this person's basically admitting like that they wanted to, push it towards that crowd, which is totally fine. That's fine. They can have it. They can have it. I don't want it. I'm not interested, but they can have it. Have fun. Go have fun. Bethesda isn't lessening its own potential. Blah 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 blah. Blockbuster have done the same thing. Yes, they have. Doesn't mean they're going to be successful about it. Even Call of Duty made Ronald Reagan respect your pronouns before committing war crimes. What? Is that a thing? And I bet the gamers who complained about that are still putting daily sessions into Warzone. It's all performative and not worth paying attention to. Everyone has pronouns, even the terminally online fools who continue to scream from the rooftops about the game that lets us choose them. Yeah, we do have pronouns. It's mine. I was born with it. It's always been she, her, because I was born female, was born a woman, and I will die a woman. So I've always been referred to as she, her in my entire life. And they, them was never a thing in my life until like 3 years ago. Starfield's in another game in a long line of modern successes that hopes to make video games a more welcoming hobby for everyone, and in doing so must wheedle out individuals who disagree with inclusive progress and leave them behind. Well, that's fine. I'm completely fine with being left behind on this. Usually I have FOMO when people leave me behind or leave me out of things because, well, I'm a single child and, my parents divorced, so I have abandonment issues. So I usually have FOMO when it comes to that kind of stuff. But you know what? You guys can keep it. I'm good. I'm totally fine with you guys having that game and leaving me behind. I will find somewhere else to go. Bird Up for $5 says my copy of Starfield came with a free bottom surgery coupon. Wow. Okay. Dan A, thank you for the 10, says if anybody asks you for pronouns, either put Star Lord or Your Grace. You can't put additional, like, you can't make up your own pronouns in the game. That was one of the things I actually commented about, because I was like, if I could have put like Your Highness in the game, or something funny, beep bop boop. I wanted to beep bop boop as my pronouns. I couldn't do that. But yeah, like, I mean, in real life, if somebody asked me for my pronouns, I would probably be like, Your Highness or something like that. But I've never had that happen to me. I've never, ever, ever had a person come up to me and be like, hey, sorry, what was your pronouns? Because I'm very clearly female. Like, you can tell I am a female person. If somebody asked me if my pronoun was, I would probably get insulted, because I would be like, the fuck, do I look like a man? Like, I don't understand. What else do you think I would be? Like, what the fuck? CJ, thank you so much for the $5. Says Ian's pick me comment was completely off. Or sorry, Ian's pick me comment was completely off. You've always had a genuine opinion, even if it put you at odds with the fellowship at times. Yeah, I mean, but I mean, that's life, right? I mean, sometimes you're gonna have opinions and people are gonna like it. Sometimes people are not gonna like it. Sometimes they like it. Sometimes they don't. That's just it. And you know what? Opinions are just assholes. Everybody's got them. Okay, so it's fine. But yeah, that guy's an idiot. So it doesn't really matter. Bird Up, thank you for the $5. Says, but Nina, the less feminine you look, the more realistic beauty you have. I see. Thanks for explaining that. Declan Fallon, thank you for the 5, says, pronouns are not important. I may be in a minority, but I always call people by their names, not interested in their gender. Well, that's you, because you're like a regular person. You're a normal human being. But most weirdos, like, apparently go around asking people's pronouns, which makes no sense to me. But I mean, they're not important in a sense that, like, we've 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 conducted ourselves as human beings talking with each other forever using the pronouns that we have had since birth. So in that sense, you're right. Like, it's not important because it's just part of life. Like, it's just that's just part of life. Yes, it is. But the choosing your own pronouns part, that's new. That's new. Zian Hu, thank you for the 742. Says, as this thing wasn't the ability to choose pronouns in the game as much as mandating that you must choose. There was no use default pronoun option. That was my problem too. Like, I'm like, I don't understand. If you've already made me pick a male or female option, they didn't have male or female, by the way. They only had body type A and body type B. You've already made me pick a body type. So I'm leaning female, right? So if I'm leaning female, then I'm already a she, her. So it's already been selected for me. It was already pre-selected that it was a she, her. So I feel like it's completely unnecessary for it to be there. But the fact that it's even there is what makes it forced to me. It's like, you have to play as part of this. You have to have this there as part of our integration of progressive ideologies into our game. It's clearly that. I mean, even this article, it was clearly writing that it's progressive ideology. It is progressive ideology. It's not that it's like, oh, it's always just existed. And remember Pokemon? Are you a boy or a girl? Like, no, it's progressive ideology. That article was right. Okay. That article actually was calling it out, that exactly what it was. It is progressive ideology in gaming. That's exactly what it is. So it's not like that article was wrong about that. It's not wrong. It was very, very correct. And I enjoyed the fact that they admitted it. So it was funny. It was funny. I'm laughing. I'm mostly laughing at all this stuff because I find it entertaining. Some people don't find it as entertaining as I do. Um, and that sometimes can be, I think it can be frustrating. I think it can be frustrating for people who take themselves too seriously. And you know what? This is a really, really good point as well. I'll stick to the original NES games, the real games. I know like a bunch of friends of mine only play retro games too. They're just over it. They're just over new games. They just always come over and play retro games. We have the retro game set up. We're always playing those things. I personally like I took a little bit of a break when that Twitter thing went viral and I was playing Tears of the Kingdom, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, because I can always count on Nintendo most of the time for it to like take me to like a game where I can completely get lost and not one brief moment think about 2023. And that is that game for me. Like Baldur's Gate, I still think about 2023 when I play it. I mean, as fun as it is, it's still got a lot of woke stuff. But man, Breath of the Wild, like you really get lost. You're just like, I'm just gonna go in this world. The music is so amazing. It just surrounds you with everything. And you could just run around. You could just run around for hours, not even doing anything, just collecting mushrooms and stuff like that. Like it's such an extensive game. It's such a beautiful game. I think it's slowly becoming one of my favorite like games of all time. I cannot recommend that game enough. Like if you are a Zelda fan, you need to play Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom is probably one of the best games I have ever seen. Um so I think that is definitely something you guys should consider getting if you haven't played it. It's beautiful. Okay, let me see what else. What else I wanted to talk to you about. Okay, here's another one. I just wanted to kind of briefly go over this. We're not going to read the whole thing on this one, but I just wanted to break another narrative here on this article here. Streamer meltdowns and mass refunds. Players boycott Starfield over pronoun controversy. And again, this is another one that has Az's face on it. Because of course, again, he's the prime target, right? Like him and Mr. Beast. I think this is Mr. Beast. Like white males, straight white males. These are prime targets. This person though did have my tweet up here. People outraging and refunding Starfield because of a pronouns option by this whoever this is. And then bring up Baldur's Gate and blah blah blah. I just wanted to break the narrative of once again because the headline here is players boycott Starfield over pronoun. Look again. Oh, that's Dr. Disrespect. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Yes, I met Dr. Disrespect. I'm so bad with names. I refunded the game and it was a personal decision. I have not once told people to boycott the name. I've never once told anyone to do what I'm doing. In fact, I consistently told people the opposite. If you like it, play it. If you are curious about it, go buy it, enjoy it, play it yourself. The only way you're gonna ever figure out whether you like it or not is if you get it and you get into there yourself. I might say maybe hold off a little bit just so that they can figure out some of the first bugs. Just like with any modern AAA game, like usually you want to wait a little bit, like whether it's a fucking great game or whether it's not. Usually you want to give yourself that time for them to figure out some of the bugs and stuff like that. So I think that you like you should play it if you really are curious about it. So I've never once called for a boycott of this game because of pronouns. This is a misrepresentation of what I've said. And so just wanted to, once again, put that out there. And right here, we got Doug35 going, how dare you make a personal decision, bigot, and then followed it up with, that's sarcasm. Well, we accept that here. So thank you for that, Doug35. Robert here is trying to make me just persona non grata over on Twitter by saying joining us boycott will be trending. Oh my God. Oh my God. Bird Up for $5 says even retro games aren't safe. Brianna Wu is still out there trying to convince people that Samus is trans. No. Are you serious? Samus is not trans. The fuck, dude. Samus is a woman. And this is a good point too. I mean, that's also a great point here. If you're curious about it, watch it being played. Don't just blindly give them money. In my honest opinion, the game is shit. Slaw says this. And you know what? That's a perfectly great opinion. Like I think this is really valid. I think you guys should watch several like people should watch people playing these kind of games. I mean, obviously we've talked about as heel versus babyface. He's still playing the game, so you can go see. If you want to see the other side, Lofty's playing the game. So if you want to see the other side of the argument and the kind of fun Lofty's having, Lofty's playing it. So you can go watch him play it. I mentioned you guys at Upper Echelon Gaming. He's playing it, so you can go watch his reviews and him playing that as well. So like, he's doing that as well. So that's more of a nuanced take, right? So like you have, there's all sorts of people playing the game and having opinions about it. So you can go to Az's opinion, you can go to Lofty's opinion, you can go to Upper Echelon's opinion, and you can, make your own opinion based on those things and seeing if that vibes with you or whether you want to play it or not. So that's something that I think everybody should consider doing. Yeah, I mean, seeing different perspectives and then deciding for yourself. I mean, that's usually that's what we used to do. That's what we used to do. Kuram, thank you for the $5 says, which have you played amongst Uncharted 4, God of War 2018, God of War Ragnarok? If yes, which what's your opinion on them? I've never played God of War games because I've never had like PlayStation 4. I don't remember if I played Uncharted 4. I think I don't remember if I played 4. I think I played 3. I just don't remember it. If I did, it didn't leave a good enough impression. Let me look it up. Hold on. Let me see if I played this one or not. Was it only on PlayStation 4? Because if it was, then I never played it because I never had a PlayStation 4. Yeah, I didn't play this one. I didn't play this. But I've been told that God of War is really good and that I could play it on PC. So I might play it on PC at some point. I might play it on PC. I played the original Uncharted stuff because it was all on PlayStation 2. I mean, PlayStation 3. Yeah, I know. I know. Isn't that crazy? I've never had a PlayStation 4. No, I skipped right over that because I've always been a Nintendo girl. I was hired as a Nintendo rep, and I've always been a Nintendo girl before that too. So it's always been a Nintendo house here and a PC house. So we've always been a very, very PC oriented house, and we've always been a Nintendo house. So it's always been those kind of games. And then whenever something from PlayStation got adapted to PC, then I would play those. But I honestly don't even think I would have the time. Like I'm like even if I had even if the money is not an issue, like, I just don't even think I would have the time to, like, play all these games, you know? Like, it's like you just you you have a certain amount of time and you make a certain amount of time to play video games because there's other things to do. So that's why I was like, I'm not gonna get a PlayStation because I'm just gonna get sucked in, and I can't get sucked into like every single game. Yes, I'm 100 like, dude, I'm 100% like Homer in this house. This is the Nintendo house. In this house, we obey the laws of thermodynamics. This is definitely me. Like in this house. But if I was to get like if we were okay, so like if we were talking back in the day argument of PlayStation versus Xbox thing. So if I was to pick one, I would have always picked PlayStation because I've had original PlayStations. I just never had a PlayStation. For the last PlayStation I had was PS3. And it was a great system. So I would get a PlayStation 3 or PlayStation again over Xbox because if I was gonna use Microsoft anything, I'm a PC girl. So I'm not gonna go to Xbox. Like, why would I go to Xbox at Microsoft when I have a PC? I'll just PC game. But if I was gonna get like a different kind of console, then I would get a PlayStation over Xbox. I think it just makes more sense. Quran, thank you again for $1.99. Uncharted 4 and God of War 2018 on PC too. Okay, so now I can play Uncharted 4. Okay, so I might do that. Is it good? Did you like it? I've heard it's not that great. Maybe I did play it. I don't remember. Hmm. Um, Zeriac over on Rumble says, I'm gonna be real. I don't get how y'all care so much about the game having pronouns. Well, I just did an hour and 45 minutes explaining why. So I'm not sure if you just rolled in, but um I I just did an hour and 41 minutes explaining why people are thinking it's a big deal. Um so I just I hope that you can maybe rewind and watch it again. Uh but thank you. Thank you. Uh thank you for being here and watching on Rumble. Shout out to Rumble. Okay, there was some other stuff I was gonna talk to you about, and I really wanted to maybe go over on Rumble and um what's the word? What's the word? My God, my brain stopped working. I'm having a Biden moment. Uh we're gonna go to Rumble and EFAP, the Tucker interview. Stop from the top. Are you guys interested in that? Because I guess, like, if you guys are not, I'm gonna call it a night because I actually still have a lot to do, and I'm going on vacation tomorrow. So I'm gonna put a poll in the chat. If you're interested in going over to Rumble and EFAPing the Tucker Carlson interview with a guy that had sex with Obama, let's go. Should we EFAP Tucker? Yes, no. Based on this poll, we will call it a night over on YouTube and we will go to Rumble and EFAP the Tucker gay interview. 200 Watt Studios for $2 says, just got here. What did I miss? Oh, not much. Oh, not much. Wait, what? Just go discuss with Ricada? What am I supposed to discuss with Ricada? Wait, is Ricada live right now? What's he doing? Is he doing stuff? Oh, he's got a show coming up. Runkle helps me navigate Murda retrial motion. Something. He's not even talking about what I want to talk about. Thank you, Shanu121. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Over on Rumble. Gave me a compliment. Said I look beautiful tonight. Okay. Let's see how this poll is going here. 57 votes. We've got 220 people watching on YouTube, but we only have 57 votes of if we should EFAP Tucker. So the votes are coming in, but most people are saying yes so far. So 59% or 59 votes, 66% yes, 34% no. So it looks like we might be going over on Rumble. Bird Up for $2 says, but Obama, that guy, we're just playing Starfield. Oh boy. Jesus Christ, Bird Up. Wow. You have left me without speech. Nick Braun, thank you for the $4.99, says, make a game where you have to acknowledge that there are only two genders, male and female. No big deal. Thanks for the stream, Nina. Aw, Nick. That would be amazing. You should do it. Get it done. Get it done, and I'll play it. Thank you for being here tonight. Wow, 69% yes. Oh, okay, 70% now. 70-30. All right, I guess we're going on Rumble, guys. I guess we're going on Rumble. Everybody wants to go over there and talk more about this situation. So let's go do that. Okay. Let me end the stream here. Before I go, though, thank you, YouTube watchers. You guys are amazing. I'm going to end the poll here. Thank you so much, you guys, for watching and hearing me out. Hopefully, I gave you a nuanced-ish take, at least, because you guys know how I feel about the whole thing. I think it's silly, but you guys have now heard me, so I thank you. And special thank you to those of you who super chatted, became a member, gifted memberships, all that good stuff. We're going to go over on Rumble now. So the link is in the description as well as the pinned comment. So make sure you guys go over there, and I will see. If you're not going to go over there from YouTube, I'll see you next time, hopefully, and you take care. Have a good one, everybody. Oh, before you go, there will be very highly likely a special Infinite Hope episode tomorrow at 12 p.m. Central. That's 1 p.m. Eastern, because I am going away on vacation and I won't be here on Friday. So I will be going live tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock or at 12 o'clock Central. That's 1 o'clock Eastern. So if you're interested, come and join me then. We're going to talk about good news. We're going to forget about pronouns. We're going to talk about good humans. And we're going to have fun with that. Finatra, you freaking rock. Thank you for the $5, and you freaking rock. You're amazing. Super talented dude. Check out Finatra's channel. He's the guy that made the intro of As. That was amazing. So I will see you guys tomorrow for Infinite Hope, if not over on Rumble. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Are you ready? Are you ready? For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen,